Diabetes and the
There we go.
Hello, friends. My name is Nero, and welcome to the Duhad and Friends Power Hour without Duhad.
Okay,
This
Duhad
better
is
now.
missing Power Hour.
This is the
Sort of.
Duhad is missing the musical Power Hour.
Not
yeah.
that much better.
So
So if we can get Hair into the call, maybe we can have some screaming in this.
I think you already are enough.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone have any
We also need to
movie
fill up the
pitches?
chat with more crap so that Duhad can't see that we've recorded it until we send it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Shit posting for win.
So
Are we really all just typing?
I
Welcome
don't
to Duhad and Power Hour, friends. Typity type.
know. Yes, welcome to Duhad and Friends Power Hour, where we do nothing but type shit.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
you guys are strange.
I have an idea. I'll be back in a second.
Ooh. What's the idea?
I'm going to try and fix my internet because it still sucks.
Okay. Anyone have any movie pitches thing? That one thing.
That one thing?
That one.
There.
That
Chance
one.
gone.
I love that one thing.
Like the last one with Time
Yeah.
Knights.
You know what? I was playing Unreal Tournament 3 today,
Mm-hmm.
Revengeance, and I just, at some point, I suddenly thought, you know what? It would be amazing if somebody made an anime out of the very, little story this has to it, because just the over-the-top gore would be fantastic in that style.
So tell me what kind of anime this would be.
It would be kind of like the older style where it looks,
So like
kind of
80s kind of
like-
thing.
Around the time of the movie Akira,
Mm-hmm.
That was never a good story.
which was that was one of the first anime movies to actually
I liked Akira,
utilize
but
fatal.
it wasn't done very well.
Well, it was actually a huge revolution in animation because it was one of the first anime movies of all time to fully utilize all facial features, simultaneously.
Mm.
Whereas before, it would just be kind of, really stupid and choppy look. So
That explains a lot.
but
Wasn't it also made by Trigger too?
I don't know,
think
but
so.
kind of in the style
it might have
of
been. I think it might have been the studio that Trigger was with before they spanned off into their own company.
kind of like the same thing as like the same ultra violence as Fist of the North Star.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not that old though. Fist of the North Star.
No,
I still recommend JoJo because there is quite a bit of that sort of Fist of the North Star sort of thing in there.
I like JoJo.
Yeah, I like it too. The actions.
I haven't gotten to see very much of it, but I started watching some of it because I didn't understand what a stand was.
Yes, I would have. Well, they don't get into the whole stand thing until like 20 episodes in or so.
No, like it's in season
like 20.
2.
Yeah, I mean like
do it.
20 episodes into season 2.
Well, not really. Like the first episode has stands, but like you really learn about them after a little while.
Yeah, you get to see what stands are, but you don't get to understand what they mean until.
Anyway, so I guess at this point we're just going to be like talking about animu.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all Nero knows about.
Yeah, Nero is a weeaboo, so that's fine.
Yeah, he is a really big weeaboo.
An otaku.
I actually did write out the lyrics for a really awful lyrics for a parody of the song Cowboy Song by Thin Lizzy, except it was called Weeaboo Song.
Oh.
The lyrics were freaking awful, but
as I can imagine. Don't sing copyrighted material.
Don't worry, I won't. But yeah, that song has it has two of the most fantastic guitar solos I've ever heard, regardless.
That's pretty cool.
Either way, one of my all-time favorite animus as you guys should know, is Elfen Lied.
Elfenlied. It's
Yeah.
lied.
It's just
It's
like
based on Germanic roots, so it's lied.
yeah. Everybody pronounces it Elfen Lied, and
That's because they're stupid
I've
Americans.
always pronounced it Elfen Lied. But
That's because you're a bad weeboo.
Yeah, well, no, actually, that's a correct weeaboo, because weeaboos always pronounce it incorrectly.
I feel like he's just like that character from Charles Barkley, Shut Up and Jam, the pump character that,
Yeah.
Have you ever played that game, by the way?
no,
Shut
I've
Up and
played.
Jam, Gaiden?
I have played Blitz the League 2, where there's the one guy, the one commentator where whenever you fumble the ball, he'll just yell out something really strange, like
Cigarette.
Yeah, that's what that game's come from. Except that's what I would always say when you're like stomping on a guy's face, just cigarette.
Throwback.
No,
It's like it
Charles
was like
Barkley Jam Gaiden. There's literally a part of the game. There's part of the game where every time you go to save, instead of going to a save point, you go to this guy named Pump, and he is the epitome of a weeaboo, and he just goes and tries to tell you all about Japanese culture or animation or something in some way, and it's either extremely inaccurate or obnoxiously annoying.
Yeah,
just like every
this guy, I would prefer to be like the guy from Blitz the League 2, because it's like, oh, they dropped the ball, watermelon.
That's Tourette's.
It slipped out of his hands, lemon jello.
That's Tourette's.
Yeah, it's basically a guy that has like Tourette's for whenever somebody fumbles the ball, it just kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the funniest thing ever.
That's interesting.
Just it's on the field, pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
I was laughing about that for fucking hours.
I'm pretty sure that actually is a definition of a version of Tourette's you've just described.
Yeah.
I had the psych degree. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. Specifically for when somebody fumbles the ball in football, you yell out like the name of a food.
So anyone seen Ant-Man yet? I haven't.
No, I want to see it.
I have not seen Penis Man.
I also didn't get to see Inside Out, though.
Oh, I didn't like Inside Out.
Was good.
I felt that they could have made 2 better films than one okay film.
What? It was fantastic.
I felt like the actual child was not focused on enough in the film.
Okay. Jesus.
Fair enough.
Because, they had so many opportunities to expand upon the actual child's character, so you'd feel more for her, but instead it's really, they didn't, and I felt like it's 2 incomplete movies instead of just one continuous complete movie.
That's kind of what I feel like happened with Jurassic World, was like they spent too much time like establishing a bunch of characters that they didn't focus enough on. So like when it came up with like the kid going, our parents are getting divorced, I looked into it, it's a divorce lawyer. I'm like, oh,
I laughed my ass off.
Why should I care?
I laughed my ass off at that part.
Yeah, it's like suddenly tears. Stupid child.
I'm addicted to action films because action films are pretty they're pretty funny when you turn your brain on for them.
My brother and his girlfriend got so pissed at me at one point because I literally called like 2 of the biggest cliche moments. It's like, okay, he saved her and now they're gonna kiss. In the movie theater, I just go, yes!
Well, the best
Are we
part
recording
of
this, by the way? Is this like a podcast thing? Or?
Yeah, it is, pretty much.
And then the same thing happened when he punched the other guy in the face. I'm just like, okay, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Yes!
Warning, there are spoilers.
For what, for Ant-Man?
Yeah, we should probably
for just films in general that come out recently, like Jurassic World.
Snake
I like
killed
Jurassic
Dumbledore.
I found Jurassic World as a good movie.
I remember my friend...
Because it didn't follow the rest of the series.
Well,
Beware of the Red Wedding.
I watched Jurassic World and I thought it was a pretty good action film. I don't think it was like
Sled.
a perfect film, but I just enjoyed it for fun. So,
I enjoyed it, and I liked who I was watching it with, so that helped.
I cared more about the dinosaurs than the actual people, though.
Like,
That was a common trait, and I felt the same way because I felt emotions for raptors.
Yeah, like the final battle, I just
emotions
looked
about
at it. I was
the
just
final battle, I actually like loved the concept of, because it's like, okay, get out the original to fight the new.
Isn't that Jurassic 2? That was Jurassic 2.
Yeah,
that's basically
Jurassic Park. Yeah, Jurassic
3
Park
and
2, or yeah, except they actually killed the old in those ones, in one of those.
Yeah, and in this
yeah.
case, it was they killed the new one.
Yeah. Spoiler.
Yeah, but
Spoiler.
I mean, who really cares anyway? The movie's been out for weeks
The
now.
movie's on DVD almost.
Yeah. Besides, if anybody wants to see it, you know,
Torrent.
it's like
I mean,
that isn't
purchase
spoiling. That isn't spoiling anything huge. I mean, you can kind of see it coming.
Yeah,
How
no,
the
but-
battle
It's Chris Pratt, the
unfolds.
movie.
yeah, but the
You mean
action's
Chris
the
Pratt?
good part about the
Yeah,
film.
the action is the good part about it. So, like,
Spoil
as
that.
long as we aren't directly like talking, you know, describing that in every detail, then we're not really spoiling anything important.
Ooh, have you heard about zoophilia? The it's not just the paraphilia, but the animated film that's going to come out in like 2018 or something like that.
No, I have not heard about
Sounds
that.
like an Adam Sandler film about him having sex with animals that talk.
God.
Honestly, that does sound
Jumanji
That
redone.
does, but it's actually an animated film, and it looks pretty good. Although it's that sort of thing where you see the concept art in 2 dimensions, and with usual Disney films, you think, wow, a lot of this could be better if it was just 2D.
Alright,
But,
guys. Well, I actually have to go. I just realized.
Oh,
Because
all
it's
right,
1 a.m. for
Alright,
me.
nerd.
all right. We'll continue.
Take care, guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys won't lose Duhad as a friend from this.
Probably won't.
We probably won't.
Yeah, he'll just kill us off, and there's an RP.
I'll just
Zombie
backhand
said,
people.
yeah. Zombie giggles. Anyway, all right. See ya.
Backhand into that.
Right. There's a bit of salt. Is there a bit of salt coming from you, zombie?
No, I've actually removed the salt, and now it's back to that picture that you sent me before.
Yeah.
I've actually developed quite a fondness for this picture.
Yes.
I think because I looked at the other one that I had originally, and I was like, I should put that one back on. And then I saw that one, and I was like, no, I'm going to keep it to this one.
This is beautiful, right? Yeah. But let me continue about zoophilia or zoophilia. Fuck.
So that's a kid movie, is it?
Yeah, it's a Disney animated film, and basically it's sort of a alternate timeline of, instead of humans being there, animals basically evolved into like bipedal.
Bisexual.
No, bipedal.
Anthropomorphic.
Anthropomorphic bipedal creatures, pretty much.
Backpedal.
And that live in like a modern human sort of society.
I don't know if they're allowed to call it that though.
What do you mean? Well, I mean,
zoophilia. It's a bit weird for a kids movie.
Well, I mean, Zoophobia is a internet comic that.
Yeah, but that's not a kids movie.
Well, yeah, but
And zoophobia isn't related to being attracted to animals.
Zoophilia doesn't really. It doesn't. Well, I mean, philia doesn't necessarily mean a sexual attraction, though. It's just an attraction in general.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna go up.
It does not mean
dictionary definition.
We'll leave it to the government to decide.
We'll leave it.
Now that they legalized the gay marriage, the people
We'll leave it to whoever actually
dogs.
cares.
But anyway, yeah.
We'll leave it to whoever
that was
actually
cool.
gives a shit and a half.
All right. And then, so that's an upcoming movie. There's tons of other films, like a ton in 2016. Like Finding Dory is coming out in 2016. There's also the Sly Cooper film and the Ratchet and Clank film coming out in the same year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The same studio's doing both of those films. So that's cool. If you're a fan of Ratchet and Clank or Sly, like I'm a fan of Sly, then you may enjoy those films. So, yeah. And then Deadpool's coming out in 2016 also.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, because it's a rated R film, which is one of the first ones that Disney owned Marvel. So, yeah. So that should be good. Anything exciting happening for you, Zombie, in your in Australia land, in Borderlands?
I might get a new job.
Really?
These weekend things that we do are basically the most exciting thing that I have to look forward to in my life.
Wow. I'm glad that we could make your weekend.
Yeah, honestly, this is normally the most exciting thing that happens to me on a weekly basis, except for the fact that, you know, a bunch of shit's been happening family-wise recently. So, that's the thing.
Yeah. Oh, tomorrow I get to go see the Blue Angels, the basically the Jet stunt show down by whatever down by the bay.
Down on the corner,
Yeah.
out here in the street. Okay.
Yeah. But so I'll be basically going with friends down there tomorrow to go see it. So yeah. So that's pretty cool. By the way, have you continued drawing that thing, Zombie?
No. I've given up for now.
You need to finish it later and send it to me, and I'll draw my own rendition, and it'll be great.
Okay.
We're still
what if mine turns out to be better than yours by some miracle?
Then I would be astounded, and I would recommend you to pursue a career in art. Then again, you know, I'm also improving, so. But yes.
Maybe I could draw like an X-ray version of it so that you can see through and see them through it, sort of thing.
Yeah, that could work too.
Maybe that.
You just need to come up with an idea for your art. And everyone in the audience has no idea what we're saying, nor does Nero. Hey, that's the alarm that was supposed to go off during the reading.
Get good. Anyway, so yeah.
How about that cancer?
Yeah. One anime that I think was very overrated, to be honest, was Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I guess. The second season won't come out until next year.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, normally with these kinds of things, like when you're sitting in the heat of the action, it's a lot more exciting. But then when you have a chance to look back on it, sometimes it retains the excitement, but other times you just look back on it and you're like, the hell was I watching that anyway? And I kind of had that moment with Attack on Titan. Yeah. Like, in retrospect, it was only really okay.
I really enjoyed it, but then after months later, you realize that, you know, the hype kind of
it doesn't really age well in memory.
Yeah, I guess, and then that and sort of the fan thing and the fact that it's on the super long hiatus because of the high detail that that the anime took in its art style. That's going to take a lot longer than most animes to produce.
Yeah, but
so
the one show that it didn't even take me until after I finished watching it to realize that it was a lot worse than, you know, I'd originally foreseen was Trigun, in which I was like, sometimes, you know, it's like you realize, well, I was really just kind of sitting there taking it all in. With Trigun, I figured that out very quickly. And eventually it became just a chore to continue watching. And it got so bad that it was to the point where it was like, man, it has to have been like at least 10 minutes. And so I moved the mouse to check Netflix, and it's like 3 minutes. So I just decided to just throw it all aside and say, screw it, this is mind-blowingly boring, and besides, I already know the bastard's a robot, so...
Which anime was this, sorry?
Trigun.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't recommend it. Rydell apparently really likes it, but I don't see it. It's like Persona 4, the animation, I was looking forward to seeing. It ended up just being kind of a letdown for me. I say stick to the game.
I'm not a huge anime viewer, despite what a lot of people think. So the recent anime that I've actually been looking at is really only JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is super good, by the way, and I recommend it because it's full of action and it's great. And even though it's got a bunch of stupid tropes that they sort of parody, I guess, in some
It does
of
it
it.
on purpose.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Kill la Kill thing, where they take a bunch of tropes and anime and they kind of turn it to 11.
They turn it
just
to
so
11.
That, yeah, they crank it up to 11 just so they
Except
could.
in JoJo's case, they would actually probably be the ones to make that reference.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, when I was buying my first amplifier, a guy in the shop made that joke.
That's good. And
they said Canelli Keys has horrible customer service.
Yeah. And in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, they pretty much crank it up to the max, so that it's kind of just crazy as shit, but it's really good. You know?
Yeah. If there's like, for people who aren't fans of anime, the number one anime I can recommend is Pantheon Stalking with Garter Belt, because it's like so Western in taste that it's just like borderline not anime.
Mm-hmm.
Except for, one episode where it suddenly becomes just like ridiculously depressing. It's like, the producers were just like, you know what? This has been too focused on comedy. We just need this one episode that just completely kills that for, like 11 minutes, and then we can keep going.
Third Impact. If people are into Western animation, I'd recommend shows like Steven Universe or Gravity Falls or Star vs. the Forces of Evil, or the short series known as Over the Garden Wall, which I hear is really good, but also super dark. And there's a ton of shows that have come out recently.
I've been meaning to watch Star vs. Forces of Evil.
Yeah, I haven't specifically watched it myself, but I've heard really good things about it, and it looks pretty good, from what I've seen. So,
all right.
If anyone wants a good anime, I would recommend The Devil is a Part-Timer, which is about Satan traveling into the modern day in our universe, and he has to work as a part-timer at McDonald's.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
It's quite good.
It kind of reminds me of
that sounds amazing.
This one specific part in Ice Shield 21 where the character who's basically the equivalent of Satan gets a part-time job only to quit it immediately after. Anyway, so, but one fun thing that I have to mention if we're talking about Animu is Violence Jack. Violence Jack is a series of 3 OVAs. They're not really movies and they're not really episodes. It's kind of just a trilogy of videos that were basically immediately banned in every country it was shown in, because it was just... It's basically the ultimate exploitation film.
Like, what kind of exploitation?
Like... Basically, imagine Hobo with a chainsaw, but, like, freaking 10 times over, and then in 3 separate, distinct parts. It's that kind of thing.
Yay. That's interesting.
And then, also on my watch list would be Space Dandy. Which is supposedly good, but it's also supposedly really weird.
Yeah, I've also heard that Cowboy Bebop is really good too.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop.
That's fine.
I've heard is really good. One thing that for those of you that are looking for the ultimate like yandere, it is apparently out of the show Mirai Nikki, which is apparently only, like, so-so, but it's ultra-violent and apparently, like, ugh. Like, it's the kind of thing that really shakes you up.
Yeah, I actually have that one. I haven't seen it though.
The show Another is supposedly like fantastic horror violence.
Really?
My friend described it as unending bloody death.
That sounds pretty good.
So.
Yeah, basically that's what it's supposed to be. It's like immediately I found a compilation of the deaths from the show Another, and I was immediately like, I just paused the video and I go, okay, I need to watch this for myself if there's enough deaths to just make a compilation on YouTube.
Well, then again, if you look at it, the Frieza fight is 4 hours long. If you cut out all of the mid parts of the episodes, it's literally a thing. Hold on.
Okay.
An anime I wouldn't recommend is Angel Beats.
I've heard really, really good things about that, and that is like
I did too, and
that is near the top of my watch list. So
yeah, I understand why people liked it because it's like a sad thing, but
yes.
The first four-ish episodes are really happy. Like they're humorous, I guess, best way to put it.
Cool,
which was cool. Like I enjoyed it, but then after that, it starts to become really depressing. Like really, really depressing.
Which one?
Well, I think that's supposed to be
Angel
like along the lines of like Monica Magica, where
Oh, it advertises itself as like.
It advertises itself as
girl ones.
Well, no, not necessarily. It more of advertises itself as like, something more slice of life happiness, and then it just ends up being this uber depressing thing. And like, I kind of like those because I mean, I loved Elfen Lied, and while that wasn't exactly described as happy, it was very emotional at points. And like the end of the K-On! Movie was incredibly emotional, and Sakura no Pet Kanojo was incredibly emotional at points. And
wait, you can pronounce all of that mouthful, but you can't pronounce Elfen Lied correctly?
Well, it's just I've always pronounced it Elfen Lied. It's just I've started pronouncing it Elfen Lied because everyone else pronounces it like that, so I thought I was saying it wrong.
This is like the GIF argument.
Yeah, it's like
except more definitive.
Yeah. But
yeah, Angel Beats is like so it was really enjoyable and I loved it. But then at episode 10 and a bit before that, it becomes literally in episode 10 he is helping this girl to basically commit suicide.
Yeah, that's where they can go.
And I was like, I didn't sign up for this when I started watching this show.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing where it's like, you can't judge an anime by its moe schoolgirls.
Yeah.
Of course, there was actually one show that was literally aired regardless of it being completely against all laws in Japan. So it was completely illegal, but they aired it anyway. It was literally about a third grade teacher who ends up having one of his students trying to seduce him.
Well done.
In third grade. Okay.
Yes, in third grade, and it's actually regarded as fairly good, if not for the fact that it's really, really awkward to watch.
Oh yeah, there's a
sequel to it. There is a sequel in the works.
I've talked about this one anime before multiple times, and it's a world where the concept of dirty jokes don't exist. I believe something like that.
God, that sounds like a hentai manga I read.
It kind of is. It's like a super sexual.
I mean, like the name just sounds like so blunt that it sounds like a hentai manga I read.
Like, literally, it's like apparently about this one lady who just wants to have sex with this one guy constantly, and there's tons of innuendos, and that same lady wears like panties as a mask. It's really weird. I've only seen GIF sets of it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, this hentai manga I read, it just... the name is kind of what you see is what you get. Whereas literally just the most blunt title. and it's almost ridiculous how, what you see is what you get. The entire thing is. I would read the title of it, but there are things.
There are children.
It is actually very well done, if mostly for the fact that, like, the story was so slice of life and it was left open-ended that it can leave the reader to, build off of it if they so choose to do so. Which is something that, for that kind of, purpose, for what that thing was created for, that is actually a very, tactful way of ending the story.
Interesting. But you, zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got any more of the things? Playing any good video games recently?
Terraria. I've been playing lots of Terraria.
What are you doing in Terraria?
Well, expert mode is far too hard, so I've gone into a normal mode world, and my idea is I will level up, well, not level up, but I'll get the best equipment in the game in the easy mode, and then I'll basically go to the hardest mode and get all those cool equipment by cheating, using the best equipment from the other world.
You know what you could do? You go to one of those servers that gives you items. You go there, and then you play the hard mode.
I could do that, but that's called cheating. What I'm doing is considered cheating, but it's within the game logic, so...
It's also within the game logic.
I guess.
God, there's also another show I want to mention, but it's really, really weird. It's known as Mysterious Girlfriend X.
Oh my.
And to leave it at the very basics of it, it's kind of a very... it's very spit-oriented. Like,
Spit-oriented?
Like, sharing spit with a girl has never meant this kind of thing.
Oh.
Like, it's basically, like... it's kind of a fetish thing.
Dog thing.
Yeah. And I have been recommended it for some reason. Somebody.
Well, I mean, ever since you gave everyone honey, ever since everyone played Honey Pop, I still get those stupid suggestions. Like Sakura Spirit is one of them, and
to be
it
fair,
pisses me off.
Sakura Spirit is actually a fairly well-written game with
porn,
with plenty of fox boobies. Anyway,
fox.
They're glorious.
On Nero's YouTube channel, you can check out a Let's Play
of said fox booby. Game.
If you want more Nero,
if you want more fox booby, me.
You can check.
If you're in the mood for something cute, watch Cheese Sweet Home.
Yeah.
If you're in the mood for something cute, watch Metalocalypse.
If you're not in the mood for anime at all,
play Borderlands.
Perhaps you could play Borderlands, or perhaps you could play a role-playing game.
Hey.
Come to see me, and I will sell them to you for the low price of $66.93.
$6.66.
Does that mean that you're initiating Order 66?
Order 66. Yes.
That's actually pretty good.
Come to the dark side.
Order 66. Miss Piggy, prepare to die, you fucker.
Is a good question. Good Kermit the Frog question. Right. Would you rather have a man's hand shoved up your ass 24/7?
I mean, you'd get used to that eventually.
Would you rather have to marry a literal pig that dresses in drag?
And
you have to procreate with said pig.
I would rather have a man's hand shoved up my ass for all eternity.
Does that mean you have children with the pig too?
Yes. No, I'll say no, actually. You don't have to have children with the pig. As long as you undergo the correct
you just actually have to engage in...
I'd rather have the hand up my ass.
Yeah, eventually you would get used to that.
And if people like fisting...
Okay, the hand has to move you around, though. So the hand drags you in the direction...
That's awesome!
Yeah, so now I never have to walk again. It's like a wheelchair, but much more...
I don't know, something tells me it's a little easier to explain a hand up your ass than marrying a pig and having sex with it.
Yeah.
Well, you now only experience one half of the life of Kermit the Frog. He has to marry a pig and he has a man's hand.
Easy being green.
It ain't easy being breezes.
Maybe we should discuss the latest Living the Dream. Maybe people would enjoy that.
Oh, Lord.
Mm-hmm. All right. I can't remember what
I'm opening it up now.
I still won't get over the whole joke Soundspeed made in that episode of hey, if I hilt myself in all the way, do you think I can fuck the baby at the same time?
Oh my god.
Like that.
Soundspeed is you, except not obsessed with Soundspeed as much.
Yeah, but Soundspeed is my god and my senpai. He's my Sama.
That's the exact reason why you've been disowned.
He's Soundspeed Sama. He cannot. He is. He is the best human being.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But seriously, like I told my brother's girlfriend about how, Soundspeed survived the whole drug addiction thing with such little help, and she just goes, "That would kill you. That's literally impossible."
Get Shrek.
I just go, that's why I look up to him. He had such amazing willpower that he performed something that was impossible.
Row, fight the power. Touch the untouchable, break the unbreakable.
And that's exactly what he did. And that is, like, one of the reasons why he's my freaking life's hero.
Speed the unsoundable.
Yes. He is always going fast. Like, seriously, the events in his life move faster than you.
Speed of sound. Oh, God.
Rolling around at the sound of speed.
Soundspeed Let's Play Sonic 06. Hey, we should do... Oh, God.
No.
Oh,
no.
Nope. I should do that for charity.
We have to do it now.
No, we don't.
I'll do it. I've never played it.
Yeah, he can do it. I can't.
I want to see how bad it is.
I can't. I have my backlog.
That'll be the broken game.
Like, stuffed up to my nipples right now, so...
That'll be the broken game I'll play for charity. While Duhad's dancing on a pole and playing puzzle games. I'll be playing Sonic 06.
And then I am playing very kinky visual novels that are within, what's it called, Twitch's limits, because they have actually distinguished a few very specific games that you are not allowed to play that were not rated by the ESRB. One of those being Honey Pop.
Oh wow, really?
Which I honestly think that they should be very proud of, because that's a space that only about 4 or 5 games have. And I think Sakura Spirit is actually one of those games as well.
Yeah, they're all dating sims with porn in them. I wonder why.
Yeah, another one of them is Fantastical Murder, which is a boys' love game. So.
Yeah. Hey, Zombie, what would you play or do for charity?
What would I do for charity?
Yeah, if we're doing live stream, just a bunch of live streams for charity, what would you be doing?
I've done enough for charity.
He's Australian.
I just film myself sitting there, and people can watch me. I'll just stare at a camera.
I think that you should do that. Just your stream for like 2 hours as you sitting there just eating chips in the dark.
Yeah. No, it's like I hate to make the reference to something as bad as this, but that old show iCarly.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it was
wasn't even especially horrible.
Yeah, but
show.
I mean, taking it back to the days where it was, decent, whereas, somewhat watchable.
It's gone now.
Yeah, it's completely
Horny
gone.
Wife 69, 6 miles away, has sent you a chat request. Should I accept it?
Yeah, go ahead. But in one episode back in the time when it was particularly decent, there was the big brother, Spencer. Yeah, he had put the video on the dating site that was literally a 9-minute video of him eating cereal and saying nothing. Zombie should do that except for like 2 hours.
No, even better is Zombie goes onto Omegle and literally just eats cereal.
Yeah.
That should be your stream, is just you doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that then.
God. This podcast has gone so far downhill.
We're talking about what we do for charity.
All podcast goes.
Yeah. We're doing. That's because it's an informal sort of podcast. There's no like.
It's the Duhad is missing the musical power hour.
No, it's a not so powerful power hour.
It's the Duhad is missing weakness hour.
Mm.
But yeah, I would probably end up I would probably play something along the lines of, like, Long Live the Queen, where it's, like, incredibly hard and you're constantly screwing up and making mistakes.
That was a good game. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, Long Live the Queen is...
I never managed to win it, so...
It's a really good game. It's just impossible.
Yeah, I'll end up playing all the broken games for my streams. Oh,
and I'll end up playing all the visual novels that
and that'll
are
be
actually
when I
allowed.
Get a better computer. I'll just run I'll emulate a ton of terribly broken games like Sonic 06 and Spyro Year of the Dragonfly, and
I would
play those through, and I will die of cancer. Oh.
I would stream Katawa Shoujo, but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't let that on Twitch either. Besides, it's actually incredibly long for a visual novel. Like, it's about the length of Princess Evangile, which is like 30-something hours.
Why do you like banned games?
Because, well, it's not really banned games. It's just the games that happen to end up being banned. Besides, there's a censored version of Princess Evangile, which costs less than the uncensored version.
I'd imagine.
But I'm going to buy
the... We could just play, like, Civ together or something.
I'm going to buy the uncensored version when I buy it,
I just need a better
I'm a nerd.
Computer, and I can run it more flawlessly.
Yeah, dude, I have had his exact model. I had his exact model of computer for the longest time, and eventually the fan just died on it.
Yeah, my fan's probably getting to that point.
Yeah,
my hard drive died beforehand, though.
Yeah, what you need to do with that is put, like, a little portable fan under it.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, because otherwise, if you don't have that on, it will actually, tell you, the computer will shut down now
unless
unless
it reaches 90 degrees, it shuts down automatically.
Yeah, so does mine, but mine doesn't give me any sort of warning.
Yeah, mine doesn't reach...
Mine doesn't give me a warning.
Mine never reached 90 degrees, but it did warn me that if I didn't have that fan under there, then I would experience some weird shit or, complete crashing.
You talking about 90 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit.
Celsius would literally melt the computer.
Yeah, that would be dangerous.
I'm
pretty sure mine gets up to 90 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, I have a hard time converting Celsius from Fahrenheit. Not so much through Kelvin from Celsius, because that's easier. You really don't have to do a lot. You just what is it? You add like 274 to it, and then you get Kelvin from Celsius.
Kelvin.
Is there logic behind Fahrenheit at all?
Is a small 10-year-old
Fahrenheit was created by Fahrenheit, and I believe was it the first system of measurement?
No, I'm pretty sure Celsius came first.
I'm not sure what the intention of Fahrenheit was, but the Americans
is there does 0 degrees mean anything? And
0 degrees is the freezing point of water, and
no, that's in Celsius. That's in Celsius.
Oh,
in Celsius, 0 degrees is
I don't understand.
And 100
Fahrenheit.
Is boiling.
Negative
water.
32 is in Fahrenheit. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, in Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I really don't see the practicality of Fahrenheit anymore.
Fahrenheit, I believe it's just make the raising and lowering on a bigger scale so that it's more easier to pinpoint what exactly the temperature is.
We just use decibel. decimals, though.
Yeah, but I mean, like, with using whole numbers.
I just see that if I would have rather been raised on a Celsius scale because it would have been easier for me.
I would have rather been raised on a Kelvin scale,
metric
to be
scale.
honest. That would be really cool.
I would have been. I would have preferred the it's like the metric measurement. I would have preferred that instead of the imperial system we have, which is
what are the metric measurements for computer space?
What?
Gigabytes and megabytes.
Oh gosh, are you referencing when I thought G Money was talking about, when he was talking about sites, I thought he was talking about websites and he was measuring like actual spatial area of websites in a.
No, I'm not referencing that. I'm making the joke but like that would be interesting if somebody actually made metric measurements for computer space. It's like there's a metric ton. And then there's the long ton and short ton.
Oh yeah, a shit ton is 60 plus metric tons. the shit ton, yeah. The metric shit ton.
Ooh, Squad DK posted some stuff.
Oh man, we the conversation's been shifting quite a bit. It's good.
We're keeping people on their toes.
Yeah.
People are summoning.
What do we talk about next? Maybe the fact that Nero's a pedophile.
That is true.
No.
How does it feel to be pedophilic?
It's not pedophilia if you're not of age yet.
Is that
Yes,
true?
it is. It still is.
No, it's considered statutory in this case.
There you go.
You know, statutory doesn't exist anymore, right?
No, I refuse to believe your stupid lies.
No, they changed the name of it to child rape.
I can't hear you over all the lollies.
No, they literally changed the
Where's
name
my
of
lollipop?
it to child rape.
Where's my lollipop?
At least here they did. So.
Would you rather a fox girl or a lolly?
Fox.
Both.
Not children. Oh god.
Yeah, pick one.
Ugh, I'd rather be fox than
probably the fox, actually.
Heard it here first, folks.
No, would you rather have a muscular? No. If I had to choose, it would be the fox over the child.
Crap.
What about you, zombie? Would the fox
what about me?
Child.
I'd go for the normal people thing, which is
no. There's no choice. No, one or the other.
I think we all know what the answer would be. Don't
no, you have to tell us. You have to directly tell us. Hey, it's okay, man. I like lollies too.
Well, a lolly isn't necessarily underage. They just look young.
They just look like a child, and in this real world, if you were walking around with someone who looks just like a child, yeah, you're gonna get.
If you were to. Right, so a girl that has the body of a 5-year-old, but the mind of a 30-year-old. Is that creepy?
That's all right, man. We all
depends. I thought you were gonna do a comparison where you want the body of a child, but with the mind of a old person.
Well,
or do you want the body of an old person with the mind of a child?
Oh God! That's
because
terrifying.
Either way is messed up.
Hey,
because there's an anime which has the character. Basically, there's a teacher, and she has the body of like probably not a 5-year-old, more like a 10-year-old, but she's like drinks beer and stuff, and it's really weird.
Peacock smokes a cigar, and she's
it's
12.
alright if you want to go that way. I'm all for it, man.
Okay, if you would include Peacock, then yes, I'd go for Peacock.
Internet brofist.
We probably shouldn't upload this. We're gonna go to prison.
What do you mean? I'm not going to prison. You're
not going to. We are.
No, not necessarily.
Hey, we have to bring Khalil down with us.
Actually, we can't go to prison unless we directly act on it, and it isn't, majorly considered illegal.
Yeah, but you can be arrested for anything these days.
Yeah,
I don't know what the laws are in Australia, though, so...
But hey, who's really going to take this seriously? Who's going to take this seriously?
Hair. Hair will take it seriously.
Well, that's Hair.
And now Hair's gonna be angry at me now that I said it.
Well, that's Hair. I mean, come on, he takes everything too seriously.
Australia's pretty weird.
Australia is weird. It's like the Florida of Australia. Wait.
No, that's Perth. Perth is the Florida of Australia.
So it's constantly on fire or constantly raining? That's
Sure.
Florida.
Yeah.
Sure. Constantly on fire or constantly raining.
Washington is the
Australia.
Norway, is the Norway of England. I mean, what?
That Norway is not a...
That's the joke, you nitwit.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Sweden's pretty good, though.
Yeah, I know.
Scandinavia is a pretty good place. Good area to go. It's interesting. If you scream out your window, other people will scream with you. Yeah.
It's like those people that lean out their window and go, "Good morning." Except in this case,
everyone screams with you.
Yeah, except in this case, if you scream out the window, people are just like, "Yeah," just along with you.
Yeah.
If I lived in like one of those happy American town things with like the happy family, classic stereotypical.
So like those 50s sitcoms or...
What is it? Atomic Age family thing? Whatever?
Yeah, Atomic...
Like the Fallout 3 sort of stuff. Yeah.
I
would run out of my house every morning in my checkered shirt tucked in, and I would scream, "Good morning, America!"
Good morning, Vietnam!
Wait, you don't do that in Australia?
Everyone here is actually... No one likes each other,
Everybody
really.
is patriotic.
No one in Australia is patriotic.
I want to go to Australia.
Less patriotic than British people.
Well, that's
like
not hard to beat, you know.
We look at our government and we go, "Wow, they suck." And then we look at America and we go, "At least not that much."
Yeah, but America actually doesn't suck that much if you actually look at it.
From the outside,
yeah,
it looks
from the
pretty bad.
outside, it's terrible. If you look on the inside, it's just the same as every other country. It's just overblown on the outside.
The Simpsons doesn't do you any favors with the American stereotypes and stuff.
Oh yeah, obviously, American stereotypes are insane. But there are, but
then again, the American stereotypes are every stereotype. There's no real other stereotype for...
Yeah, American
unless
stereotype
it's like the Russian stereotype or something.
Oh yeah, American stereotype is usually something that comes from the South most of the time, like where it's like, oh, they're all stupid and racist and fat. Nope, a lot of that's from the South.
Yeah.
A lot of, well, not everyone in the South, but quite a few people in the South, and that's where America gets a lot of the bad.
From the South.
He's from Texas, yes.
Mm.
Although I remember quoting directly from him. Or was it someone else? No, I'm pretty sure it was him.
If Soundspeed was smart, he wouldn't have left the chat.
Well, Soundspeed, if I do remember correctly, he did mention that if you grow up in Texas, then it's a really cool place. If you don't grow up in Texas, then it's a horrible place.
Yeah, basically, you know how the world treats America? America treats Texas that way.
Yeah, except Texas treats the rest of America that way.
Yeah, it's really funny. Immigrants.
Most of Texas does.
There's quite a few liberal cities in Texas.
Yeah, there are plenty of people in Texas that are actually, halfway decent about not being douchewads.
There's gonna be so many people from Texas that are gonna get pissed.
Screw you all!
Duhad loses all of his subscribers after this video.
No, just any video with us in it. So a lot of the videos we're gonna get. Oh, this is gonna be the most disliked video. Yeah, I challenge everyone to give us as many dislikes as possible. This video, do it. If it even ends up on Duhad.
Maybe we should do like the what? Do any of you guys have any ideas that you'd like to put forward?
Like
in the ones with me and.
Oh, like a sort of a movie pitch.
Well, I mean, I already said the whole thing about freaking Unreal Tournament 3 being redone in anime style.
Think of this. Mortal Kombat. But hear me out. Hear me out. All the characters are replaced with Shrek.
No, all the characters are replaced with Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
With
yeah.
Shrek.
Steve Buscemi in a Shrek mask.
Yeah, with Shrek voiced by Steve Buscemi.
Yes. It's Steve Buscemi in a Shrek mask, dubbed over with basically
by Shia LaBeouf.
And basically his quest is to defeat Lord Buscemi, also played by Steve Buscemi, and dubbed over by Willem Dafoe. And his quest is to destroy him so he can get the Shemi crystal, and Shemi his way across the country, so he can run for President Shemi. And all the voters, also played by Steve.
Sounds amazing. You guys keep doing this. I'll be back in 1 second.
All played by Steve Buscemi. He has to win their vote over from the communist leader, played by Sarah Palin. No, Sarah Palin wearing a Steve Buscemi mask.
Yes.
And
no, Sarah Palin wearing the Steve Buscemi dress.
Mm-hmm. And so basically,
and the mask.
Yeah, and so they have to go, and it basically ends up being a political film, like The Big Lebowski, and basically,
which had Steve Buscemi in it.
Yeah. Except instead of instead of Steve Buscemi being Steve Buscemi in that film, it's like Steve Buscemi being everyone but Steve Buscemi in that film.
Steve Buscemi is everybody except for Steve Buscemi.
And so,
Steve Buscemi is played by Shia LaBeouf.
So, the first term he actually loses to Sarah Palin in Sarah Shemi, and so, but the next term she gets basically, she doesn't get reelected, or she's shooting for a reelection. He gets it, and then he tries to nuke the evil communist government of Australia, and the leader of Australia is played by Zombie Cam, and because they're so evil, they're trying to nuke us with kangaroo bombs, that koala bears and kangaroo bombs.
Mm-hmm. Kanga bombs.
And so, Kanga bombs, yeah. And so basically, Steve Buscemi, he puts his vice president Shia LaBeouf in power while he goes in a Black Ops mission with Nicolas Cage, played by Steve Buscemi, and over to Australia so that he can secretly take down the government from the inside out. And the ending is going to be extremely sad and crushing. You want to know why? Because he gets betrayed by wolves, all played by Steve Buscemi. They were trained to hunt out the leader of Australia and to protect Steve Buscemi. So all these Steve Buscemi wolves kill him, and it leaves at his final breath. So how do you think of Buscemi Unloaded?
Steve Buscemi, electric boogaloo vengeance.
Yeah, we thought it was a bit of a something that's been overdone all the time of either Russia or Germany or British people or anyone who's not American. So we went with more non-Americans.
It's an electric boogaloo vengeance.
So Australia, it turns out, is actually the new Nazi hive mind.
Mm-hmm. But they use kangaroos.
Because we won't be able to sell it in Australia if the Australians.
We use it by a different name, and
right.
And we call it the Happiness Corporation. So
yes,
Yeah.
So Australia, that is not Australia, has been taken over by the Happiness Corporation.
Yeah.
Who is secretly breeding mutated boxing kangaroos.
Yes. All played by
take over
Steve
the rest
Buscemi.
Okay. I thought he was American side.
Yeah. No. It's like The Big Lebowski, where Steve Buscemi was in it, right? Except every character is Steve Buscemi, but the character played by Steve Buscemi. You see? You see? So so basically, Steve Buscemi plays everyone, and we can sell it as an art film to people as well. Right. Right. And so in the end ends on a very sad note, which prepares us for our second film, our sequel. That will come later, and it will come as a sequel taking place 200 years in the future, where where the Happiness Corporation took over the world, right, all except for Switzerland, and basically there's basically Steve Buscemi is cloned again from his parts of his carcass found inside of the cloned remains of the wolves that played by Steve Buscemi were killed that killed Steve Buscemi and ate him, right? And so they find his remains, and his mission is to finally take down the Happiness Corporation after the Happiness Corporation took over the entire world besides Switzerland. So,
right.
Yeah, and the main villain...
So does the Happiness Corporation not want Switzerland, or are they just failing to take over Switzerland?
No, they don't want Switzerland. They got a peace pact, they're bros, they play pool together, Switzerland's just hanging out, They didn't do anything.
Okay.
They stayed neutral the whole time. They didn't do anything, That's why they deserve not to be eradicated. And at this point, the Happiness Corporation is basically Skynet, right? Right. And their goal is to kill everyone besides Swiss. And so pretty much, you playing the AI of basically the Happiness Corporation. Your goal is to try and seek out and send robot kangaroos to kill Steve Buscemi. And so Steve Buscemi's goal is to try and take you down. And so we ended off by, Steve Buscemi giving a one-liner. Nero, come up with a one-liner right now.
You have been Buscemi'd.
And so basically after that he fires a BB gun into the control board of the Happiness Corporation, and the whole place blows up, and but one robot kangaroo, which is sent back in time to the to before the Happiness Corporation was set up, and basically the founder of the Happiness Corporation finds this parts of this robot kangaroo. And that's how we'll connect the two films together.
AI right. Cameron is happy with this idea.
So?
All right. Well, that is certainly something we can use.
Yeah.
Are we stopping now?
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been going on for an hour. So... this has been the Duhad
the
and
not so
friends.
Powerful Power Hour.
The Duhad is missing the musical Weakness Hour.
Oh God.
Is my voice normal again?
No. Sorry.
But anyway, see ya.
Hello.
Goodbye.
Hello.
No. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
The following are outtakes from a Let's Read that we attempted. Keyword there, attempted to do, of The Pony Dead by your good friend Duhad. Everything we say in this video that is against Duhad is meant as a joke and should be taken as such. Please keep that in mind. Thank you.
Wait, wait, first, is this the first time you guys
Let's read!
Hello, everybody.
Hello!
Hello, folks.
Let's try that again. That's going in the bloopers. Hello! Hello, friends. My name is Nero. What it do? And welcome to Duhad is Missing, the musical.
Also known as Let's Read Cancer Edition.
Yeah,
also known as what we do in Let's Read when Duhad is too tired to.
Yeah.
Duhad is probably in a coma right now, so...
I am your host, not Duhad, because Duhad is Missing, the musical. And with me here is Zombiecan.
Hi, if you guys actually end up seeing this, then Duhad's pretty alright.
G-Money!
Hi, I'm hoping I don't lose my friendship with Duhad with this.
And Barir.
I got nothing to lose.
It's like I have nothing to lose.
And I am Nero again. Hare ran screaming like the little pussy he is.
Hare just heard about the story we were doing.
He literally heard that we were doing this, and he ran screaming like a little bitch.
No, he said, "Oh man, I just remembered."
He's like, "Oh man, I remembered. I got some stuff to." And he just cut out like a little.
All right, let's start. Who wants to tell him the story that we're doing?
We are doing The Pony Dead by some bastard named Duhad 8? I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard of this story before. Apparently it's really bad.
Yeah, it's like this is apparently like worse than Hands or something. Well, I don't know
what
how
sort of hack author could possibly write something worse than Hands.
I don't know.
Decent, though. At least
some sort of sellout hack.
I don't know. It's like he can't be worse than Markin, but you know he somehow he's apparently worse than Andrew J. Talon. So,
that's interesting.
Let's figure out the magic behind this mysterious Duhad 8. Apparently he's the 8th in line of Duhads. So
alright, let's just start because the cancer is just pouring out of your nose.
Yeah.
This is just like the fucking top edge.
Chapter 1, The Cabin.
Also, just so you know, that's also Nero's bad reading. The story is actually well written.
Yeah, it's actually got better.
Yeah, it is.
You messed up the first line.
In all seriousness, I have been at an inability to read today. Believe me, when you're trying to record a visual novel and you can't stop fucking up,
You're making a visual novel?
No, I'm reading one. I'm reading through one. It's Sakura Spirit, you nitwit.
Yeah, wow. That was pretty
Go check out Nero Brony's channel at
www.johnscena.com www.meatspin.com
John.
You know, Duhan's gonna look at the first 5 minutes of this video, is gonna immediately delete it.
Yes. Should we start over?
Yeah, we could start over.
Yeah, should we start over? Let's put this in like the end.
Yeah, let's put this in.
All right, let's restart. You have to start reading the story.
Okay.
We can't keep restarting this. This is what, attempt number 55?
No, this is attempt number 2.
Literally the second restart.
God, it was like 55.
Hello, everybody. Hello, friends. My name is Nero. What it do? And welcome to Duhad is Missing, the musical. Take 3, to be exact.
Don't tell them that. God, no, we have to start again.
Fuck.
No, we don't.
Ugh.
Fine, we'll start again.
Now we do.
Hello, friends. I'm Duhad, and this is Duhad is Not Missing, the musical.
Hi, everybody. My name is Soundspeed.
I'm here!
And I'm Lightning Rabbit!
And I'm Cabral.
And we're all horrible at acting.
And today we're reading Living the Dream.
By Satan himself. Now, okay.
I'm really disapproving of this story, fellows.
I want to scream!
This story had me by the bollocks when I was younger.
Rape.
Rape. Cabral, shut the hell up. Now I have to go through and
Jesus was nailed to the cross.
Oh God.
Okay.
Well then.
Duhad is sleeping tighter than God during the Holocaust.
Duhad is
sleeping so tight I could fuck the tension in the air.
Let's restart again, and this time actually start. Like actually.
Yes. Please.
Let's
Alright,
just
get
do it
your
super
last-
serious. Let's do like
Yeah.
super serious stuff.
No, for the
That was-
first
that was
five,
the
no,
first.
no, guys, for the first 5 minutes, let's do it really seriously, and then afterwards, just
Yeah, so Duhad only watches the first 5 minutes, and
then
that way.
he uploads it, and ends
Hero
up being
just
the
pissed
worst
himself
one
on
ever.
camera.
Oh god. Okay.
Now you have to take that 'cause I'm pretty sure Nero just said, "Bro, I just pissed myself on camera." And if not,
I nearly pissed myself.
Look, it's fine. You can clean up later.
Take 7.
It's not.
Let's read.
Pretty sure it actually is though.
Okay,
Alright.
take 8.
Hello, everyone.